T-shirt you're wearing today, Pat, Children's Ground, some important work that you've been doing behind the scenes with that charity. Just tell us a little bit about that and what they do.
Well, Children's Ground work with First Nations, Aboriginal communities, and up in Arunda, the nation up in the Northern Territory, and I've been involved with them for a couple of years. It's been a learning curve for me, to say the least. I got introduced through my niece, who was raising funds for them, and said, Pat, I think you might be interested in this. Do you know what's happening with the Aboriginal communities around Australia? I've been out of the country for 30 years. I had no idea how bad the situation is. I had to see it for myself. So I went up there with Children's Ground, who run the fantastic community of getting the Aboriginals together, the elders and with the young kids, and getting on the ground and on the land and teaching them in their language. And I went up there, and I've got to say, I was embarrassed to be Australian. I was shocked. It was just mind-blowing. I was in tears half the time, just seeing the poverty and the situation that these people are in. And as an Australian, being away for 30 years, I had no idea. I thought things were better, but things have got worse. I mean, it's absolutely 100% clear that this system is not working. Children's Ground are trying to change this system. They're empowering Aboriginal elders in the community. For me, I went up there to visit Felicity Hayes. Now, Felicity is the traditional landowner of Alice Springs. She owns Alice Springs, the whole land. She was living in a caravan, not a nice caravan, a caravan with holes, no heat, no electricity, freezing cold in the winter, boiling hot in the summer. She had no electricity, and against all human rights, no water. And I could not believe this. And her and her partner were there, and they welcomed me. And I saw these sheds out the back. And I thought, what are these, tool sheds or something? No, they were the places where her family were living. They were sheds, corrugated iron roof sheds where her family were living. But they moved out because they shut the water off. Why did the government shut the water off? Well, I believe that they wanted to put solar powers all over her land, solar power panels over their land. They wanted to push her out. This is a lady who actually owns Alice Springs. And so the more I got involved in this, the more, as you can see, I'm very passionate about it. It's really very, very upsetting to me. And I just cannot believe what's going on here. The system has failed these people so badly. And I'm passionate that the Children's Ground are doing something, the sort of work that Children's Ground are doing is basically what the Aboriginals used to do, is get the children working with the adults, working with the young people. Instead of going out and drinking and doing drugs, they're back into the community, helping the kids, getting jobs. Children's Ground are doing fantastic. It's almost a groundbreaking sort of theory or system. So, you know, I just felt like I had to do something about this, and it's been a bit of a passion for me. But this is not an isolated thing. All the Aboriginal, the elders I talk to, they're losing their language. They're losing all their knowledge. The kids are being forced to learn English going to school, but they don't speak English. So they drop out of school. They're putting in they call the AB ward, which is the Aboriginal kids who cannot speak English because, well, they don't speak English. So the Children's Ground are doing a great job teaching them English, teaching them how to write their own language, how to live off the land, and all these. It is one of the oldest systems in the world, the Aboriginal system. It absolutely is such brilliant, smart people. And yet, you know, I hate to say it, they don't like to say this, but their knowledge is dying out, and I just can't. I feel very, very passionate about that. It's very, very upsetting to me, and I think anybody who looks into that would understand that. Here I am, you know, on Aboriginal land. You know, I got to the stage now where I just cannot celebrate Australia Day. I'm sorry, I just cannot celebrate. As an Australian who brought 2 Davis Cups home, represented my country, January 26th is not a day of celebration for me, and I think people who really look into it would question that. And so that's not going to be a celebration day for me. It's like an invasion day. It's celebrating white English landing, but yeah, it's as you can see, it certainly has changed my life to seeing what's going up there.
All right, Pat, we've got to get to the news, but it was great to chat to you, man, and that work that you're doing is terrific on Children's Ground. You are passionate about it, and a name as big as yours does bring a lot of attention to that. So thank you very much for your time today, and good luck with your work during the Australian Open.
And we'll put those